问题3：如何理解神因丰盛的爱而造人？
When we look at the word love,
当我们看到爱这个词的时候，
it is even in the scriptures difficult to define.
甚至在圣经里头我们都很难下定义。
But
但是
when we look at all the texts,
当我们看到所有这些经文啊，
it is a selfless self-giving,
爱是一个无私的舍己，
a
付出，
desire, a longing to give oneself to the blessing of others.
一个为了别人的益处把自己付出的一个
Do you
欲望。
understand? Is that pretty clear?
清楚吗？这是爱。
Right. Now, within the Trinity,
在三位一体当中，
the Bible says that God is love.
圣经说神就是爱，
Now, that's a very big statement,
这是一个很大的一个
and it's
一个
very
陈
unusual,
述，也非常不寻常。
especially in the context of John's writings.
特别在约翰的著作里头，
John says that
他的上下文的背景。
God is spirit,
约翰说神是灵，
God is light,
神是光，
God is love.
神是爱，
It's what he is.
这是他的本质，他
It's
就
not
是，
something he
这
does.
不是他所做的，
It's not something that he has to generate
也不是他所要产生的东西，
or think about.
或者他要想出来的，
He is
他
those
本
things.
身就是这
Now,
些。
in order to make it just a little clearer, let
好
me say this.
让我讲更清楚，让我那么说。
Do you know when God tells
你
Moses,
知道，当神告诉摩西
I am,
我是，
that's a very important statement
这是一个很重要的一句话。I
because
am，
you and I can't
自
say
由拥
that.
有，你我不能那么说，我自由拥有。
One of the things he means by that
它其中一个要表达的是，
is that existence is an attribute of God.
存在本身就是神的一个属性，一个本质，
It's not something he just does.
不是他所做的，
It's what he is.
它本身就存
See,
在。
you and I
am
can't say that.
你我不能说我自由拥有，
You and
我
I
是
have to decide to exist.
你我必须要决定我们要存在。
We get up in the morning, I want to live.
一早起来，我说我要活着。
A bear begins to chase you and you say, I'm going to run because I want to live.
大熊开始追你，说我要跑，因为我要活着，我
We
要存
have
在。
to labor
我们必须
and
要
work
努
in
力
order
下
to
功夫
exist.
来存在，
Do you see that?
看到没有？
And if we stop laboring, we will stop existing.
如果我们不努力的话，我们就不再存在。
God's not like that.
但神并非如此，
He doesn't have to decide to exist.
没必要决定他要不要存在，
He doesn't have to will to continue to
他
exist.
没有必要下定决心，他要
And he
存
doesn't
在，
have to work to
他没
exist.
有必要努力做这个做那个来存在，
He is.
他本身就存在，
He cannot
他
not
是
be.
自由拥有，他不可能停止存在，
That's pretty neat, isn't it?
对，很有趣，
Now-
很有趣。
Now think about when it
想想。
says God is holy.
当我们说神是圣洁，想想
It doesn't mean he has to, like, you and I have to
你我
put
必须，
ourselves in the right disposition.
我们要把自己放对位置，
We have to make
我们
decisions.
要下定决
We
心，
have to, you know,
yeah.
have a determination.
Yeah.
I'm going to be holy.
立志，我要圣洁，
I'm going to do the right
我要
thing.
做对的事儿。
And sometimes we may even say, I'm so tired of
有时候，
fighting against
我
sin.
们甚至会说，我们跟罪征战已经疲惫不堪了。
God's not like that.
但神并非如此啊，
He is
他
holy.
就是圣洁，
He cannot be anything else.
不可能不圣洁。
Well, it's the same way with love.
爱也是如此啊
And，this is what's so wonderful.
这是这个美妙之处，
He is
他
love.
就是爱。
And you see, there is, when a holy God looks at us
当一位圣洁的神看到我们，
prior to conversion,
在我
prior
们
to
信主之
Christ,
前啊，来到基督面前之
it says
前，
that he loved his people with an eternal or everlasting
圣
love.
经说他用永恒的爱他的百姓，
But we were sinful.
但是我们是罪人啊，
There was nothing in us that would draw out his love.
在我们里头没有任何东西能够吸引他
There
来
was
爱我
nothing
们，
in us that would motivate him to love
我们
us.
里头没有任何东西是促使他来爱我们，
But he loved us because he is love.
他爱我们，因为他本身就是爱，爱的本体。
Now, do you see how wonderful that
你
is?
看这是何等的美好啊！
If his love did not begin with me,
如果他的爱不是从我开始的，
it won't end with me.
也不会因着我不可爱就不爱我了。
You see,
看到没有？
it's all dependent upon his nature.
这一切都因着他的本
So
本
it
质
is
就是爱。
God's nature to love.
神的本性就是爱，
It is in his nature to give of self,
他的本性就是自我牺牲的爱，
to bless.
要祝福我们。
So throughout all eternity,
所以从永恒到如今，
that has occurred within the persons of the Trinity.
这三位一体里头都不断的这样子爱，
The Father delighted in the Son
父喜悦子，
and gave himself to the Son.
为子舍己。
And the Son, the Father, and the Spirit, the Father and the Son,
哇，
and
这
vice
个
versa.
父跟子，子跟灵，都是这个关系，彼此牺牲自己，爱对方。
But to have the opportunity to express that self-giving on a wider theater,
但是要把这个自我牺牲的这个爱表达在一个更宽广的舞台上，
God created the world.
神就造了这个世界。
And here's the amazing thing.
这叫人惊叹的是，
If all the angels had remained holy,
如果所有的天使都没有堕落，都是圣洁的，
and if Adam and Eve had remained holy,
如果亚当夏娃也保持圣洁，没有犯罪的话，
and God loved them,
神爱他们，
it would still be a marvelous thing.
这仍然是一件叫人惊叹的事儿。
Because for the Father to love the Son,
因为父爱子，
that's amazing.
这已经叫人惊叹。
But the Son
That-
is absolutely worthy of that love.
子是全然配得父
And
的爱的，
he's equal with the Father
他
in
与父
every way.
从各个角度都是同值同等的。
But for God to love, to pour himself out on something less,
但是神把自己的爱倾倒在一个不配的
to
一个
give
对象上，
himself to a created being,
把他自己舍己为一个受造之物，
that's truly amazing.
这简直是不可思
But
议。
now let's take it one step farther.
我们再进一步说，
For God to pour out his love not only on a created being,
神把他的爱不仅是给一位受造之物，
but a fallen, morally corrupt being.
给一个堕落的一个道德败坏的一个东西。
So God does this because he is love,
神之所以这样子做，因为他本身就是爱。
but also this prepares the theater for a more magnificent expression of that
这
love.
个就预备了舞台，好叫神的爱更加的丰富的、无穷的彰显出来。
See that?
看到没有？
So was that pretty is that okay? Did you understand that?
明白吗？
Because love is self-giving.
因为爱是舍己的，
Love
牺牲的。
desires expression,
爱就要有表达，
an ever wider expression,
而且越来越宽广的表达
an
出来，
ever greater expression.
而且是越来越多的、更大的表达。
You know, we have to be careful with the human example
我们用人做例子需要谨慎啊，
because they always fall short.
因为人的例子总是会有缺乏。
Let's say that you were a woman
譬如你是个女人啊，
full of love,
你充满了爱心啊，蛮有爱心的女人，
full of a desire to love,
你有爱的欲望，爱人的
to express that
心愿，
love,
你要表达那个爱呢，
but you could never express it.
但是你没机会表达，
You were on an island all alone,
因为你住在一个孤岛上，孤苦伶仃，
no expression of that love.
你的爱没有地方。
Now, that is a
发挥。
pitiful
当然，
example
这是一个不好的，一个
because
很可怜的一个例子，
God does not have that kind of
因为
need.
神没有那个需要。
Okay? Because even if there was not any creation, he would still be expressing his love.
就算没有受造之物，神仍然在表达他的爱。
But I just want you to see that love has a desire to be expressed.
我要你明白，爱有一个欲望想要表达出来。
And he abounds in infinite goodness.
神是充满了慈爱、良善，他要
And
无限
he
的，
delights in the expressions of those
他
goodness.
喜悦他的良善。
because he sees himself reflected in it.
因为他看到他自己的本质从中表达出来，
This is what
表明出来。
Jonathan Edwards was getting at
这
when
就是
he
爱德华
wrote
兹说的，当他写
when he wrote with regard to the joy of God.
写到神的喜乐的时候，他说
And so I hope that's helpful.
我盼望这有帮助。
Can I add just a
我可以
footnote?
我补充一点点啊，
I think that
我想
God is a God of revelation,
神是一位启示的神，
just like he's a God of love.
就像他是一位爱的神，
It's in his nature to
他的
reveal
本
his
质
glory.
就要启示他的荣耀。
I really believe revelation is an attribute of God.
我自己相信啊，神的启示本身也是神的属性。
I've never read it in a systematic theology, but that's my
我
opinion.
从来没有在系统神学的书里头看到过，但是我个人的意见是这样，
It is his glory to reveal the
他的
glory.
他的荣耀就是把他的荣耀彰显出来，
Hence,
因此
creation. It was
才会有受造之
Brother Paul who mentioned this the
我
other
想保罗
evening.
华许那天晚上也提到了，
For eternity,
在永恒里
he's going to be revealing more
他会
and
不
more
断
and
的
more
启示
and
自
more
己越来越多的自己的荣
of
耀，
himself to us.
他会继
And we
续，
will never know the
我
end.
们永远无穷无尽的会认识他。
One of the things that's very important
还有
is
一件很重要的事儿，
when we use the word glory.
当我们用荣耀这个词的时候，
Now, there's the glory of God.
有神的荣耀，
God glorifies himself,
神荣耀他自己，
and we're called to glorify God.
神也呼召我们要荣耀
And
他。
of course, our being called to glorify God is quite different than the first two that I mentioned.
我们要去荣耀神，跟神本身荣耀很不一样。
Because as it's stated in Hebrews, the lesser cannot give something to the greater.
正如在希伯来书说的那个，位分大的给位分小的祝福。
So, us glorifying God
所以我们荣耀神，
is kind of can be seen in two categories.
可以从两个角度来看啊。
First of all,
首先，
in praising God,
在赞美神，
we are not giving Him glory or adding to
我
His
们不是
glory.
在他的荣耀上再加一点啊，不可能。
We are
我们
recognizing
不
it,
过是承认他的荣耀，
appreciating it,
我们在欣赏他的荣耀，
and
赞美
proclaiming
他
it.
而且宣告他的荣耀。
Okay. And then in our lives, we glorify
在我们的
God.
生命中，我们荣耀他呢，
Not that we're doing something great
不是我们在做一些美好的事儿
and，giving it to God,
然后做好了给他，不，
but we glorify
我
God
们荣耀神乃是
in that when we're living conformed to His will,
我们按照他的旨意生活，
it is a revelation of His grace and power in us.
就把他的能力、把他的恩典在我们生命中表
Now,
现出来。
with regard to the glory of God,
关乎神的荣耀
you
呢
need，to see it in two different categories.
我们要看到两个不同的类型
The
啊。
glory of God
神的荣耀
ultimately refers
最
to
终指的是
His nature,
他自己的本性、本
His
质，
attributes.
他的属性。
A word that I like to use
我喜欢用那个词啊，
in the plural
是复数的
is
啊，
His excellencies.
是叫做他的美德，
So it's who He is.
就是他的本质了。
Now, that's one category.
这是一类的啊荣耀，
Another category
另一位
is,
的荣耀
is
是
the communication of that glory.
是把那个荣耀怎么表达出来，
So, Him revealing it,
所以他会启示，他会显明他的
when
荣耀。
God comes in and saves Israel,
当神从天而降拯救以色列，
He's revealing His
他
glory.
在彰显他的荣耀。
But in what way?
怎么样彰显呢？
His faithfulness to His promises,
他对他的应许的信实，
His power.
他的能力的
His
彰显，
wisdom.
他的智慧
So
的
you
彰
see,
显等
when
等。
what is He
所以
doing?
他在干什么呢？
He's revealing
他
Himself,
在
His
启示他自
attributes.
己，
You
启
see
示他
that?
自己的属性。
Now, but there's
那
also
同时呢，
there is a sense of the communication of His glory
也有一个他的荣耀的传达，
in that He made man in His
就
image
是他按着自己的形象造人，
and He's restoring man to that image.
而且他恢复人那个从前的荣耀。
So God gives us something of Himself,
所以神把他自己的一部分给了我们，
And he delights in what he gives us.
而且他喜悦这么做。他
That's
所
why
赐的
sin is so terrible.
所以罪是如此的可怕，
Because it has marred the image of God that is in us.
因为罪恶使我们在我们身上的神的形象有了亏损。
And so those are the ways in which you need to look at
所以
glory.
你需要这样子了解荣耀啊。